I've had some, we talked about centrally sensitized. So this is kind of an interesting group. I've had my share of these people. They have unique characteristics. It's typically towards, they're not in the inflammatory state, and they're well into like the third phase of healing where the nerve remains very hypersensitive. Their motion not necessarily is bad. Like their movement loss is much less significant. They might still have it, but you start putting a little bit of pressure on the nerve and it's like, oh, there's my leg symptom. They have good motion, but that little pressure is like picks up on it. It's very hypersensitive. Or they're just centrally sensitized and it's just hypersensitive and very well aware of everything because it's been there for a while. So for these people, you'll find yourself being in the more mid-range kind of movements and bumping into a little bit of that sensitivity, but not too much where it kind of lingers around. And you might find yourself not being able to use as many reps of an exercise. You might be using 3 to 5 reps of easier exercises than more challenging exercises that really stir it up. But slowly but surely you get you add more exposure. So like that graded exposure kind of process. And then those people start to get better too. So that's sort of that's sort of my experience, like, kind of what I like to do with these people. And I've seen most of them get better. Very few have I had to refer out, so I refer out for the injections, but it's oftentimes by the time they get their injection, they really don't need it because it takes so long to get to that picture, to get into the specialist. But sometimes they just go get it anyway. And sometimes they still need it and still benefit from it. So, but yeah, that's my experience with it. I see a ton of back pain and very few have to move on to surgery.